Hey everybody, it's game day. Well, I guess yesterday was the official start of the playoffs, but for the Montreal Canadiens, it's game day. It's the first day of the playoffs for us, and I got some news of the day. Plus, I'm going to give at the very end. I'm going to give you my picks for my predictions for the series. Okay, so I know there's games that started. I'm filming this on Wednesday. I only know the result of one game. That's it. That's all. I didn't look at anything. I tried to avoid everything. So I've done my picks based on not seeing anything but the one game, and I'll tell you which game it is when we get to it. So we'll get right into the news of the day. Happy birthday. There's a lot of birthdays this week for the Habs. First one was Nick Suzuki. Nick Suzuki turned 21 on August 10th. Caden Primo and Mark Bergevin they share a birthday. So August 11th, Caden Primo turned 21, and Bergie turned 55. So he's a couple years younger than me. Shea Weber on August 14th will turn 34, and Carey Price will turn 32 on August 16th. And I do believe on the 16th there is a hockey game, so maybe he'll get a birthday present by winning Game 3, I believe that will be. I'm not done there. Sad news. Sad news. When I saw it, I was like, oh my God. What idiot's going to replace this guy? Because he's great. Bob McKenzie is retiring. So I wrote under there, okay, semi-retiring. So he's kind of easing himself out. He's basically retiring. He's going to do some stuff with the playoffs, I think. I don't know much. If anything, he might not be doing that. He does have a couple of things like the junior championships I think he's going to be covering. He'll be on that panel. But he's going to be eased out in the next few years. He does have a new contract. He'll be doing a few things. But he's basically retiring from being one of the insiders every day that we count on to have information that's accurate. So I'm really sad to see Bob McKenzie retiring. His brother Doug, I'm not sure. That's Bob and Doug. Okay, next up. Habs giving permission to the Panthers to talk to Scott Mellanby. I'm not sure what Scott Mellanby does here, but he's a good part of this management, and they're looking for the new GM for them because their GM, Dale Talon, I don't know if he resigned. I'm not sure exactly what happened with their GM, but they're out of the playoffs, so that's probably what happened. He either was fired or resigned, and they're looking for a new GM. So the Habs have given permission to talk to Scott Mellanby. Sources say the Big Ten NCAA football will be canceled until the spring. Now, why does that make any difference? This is a hockey. For football, why does it make any difference? Well, it does. Because football, first of all, college football in the States is probably the biggest thing. It's definitely bigger than hockey, without a doubt. So if football is being canceled, you have to wonder about the other Big Ten NCAA sports, and that one of them is hockey, and one of the players there is Cole Caulfield. So Cole Caulfield will not have a place to play. We already know that the hockey has said they're at least till January, so we know it's delayed. And there's no official word about hockey doing the same thing and going right to spring. So it just begs the question of what will Cole Caulfield do? Will he wait till college restarts? Will he try to go and play in the juniors? He has been drafted by the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds, so he could go there because they have plans to restart. Just tentative, nothing is solid yet. He could go to the AHL, sign a professional contract, go to the AHL, play with the Rocket, but even that is tentative. It's not 100% sure. Or he could sign his professional contract and somehow hang around and play with the Habs until other things start up. The thing is, once he signs his contract, a professional contract, can't go back to college. So it's a decision time. It's a waiting game. I think it's been reported that it was hockey that was, and I might have done it. I don't know if I actually said it anywhere, that hockey, the Big Ten, was canceled, but it's not. They haven't decided 100%. This is football that was canceled. Or they're thinking about it. Nothing is 100%, but it's not going to start up. I don't see how they're going to do it. Anything that's not been in the bubble has not really been successful. I don't see how the smaller leagues are going to do it yet. But that's yet. There's still time. We're going to find out. So where's Cole Caulfield going to play? Don't know. So don't expect him here in Montreal, but it's a possibility that he could show up here sooner than we think. Jacob Voracek will be a game-time decision for the Flyers. Jacob Voracek, I do believe, skates on the first line. He's been injured. If he is a go for tonight, that's not a good news really for Montreal because it just strengthens an already strong Philadelphia Flyers team. Montreal is going to need every break they can get to win this series. That's the honest truth. Anyways, we're going to go with the predictions soon, but it's the honest truth. Montreal going into this series, if you're looking at it, you're not picking them because they don't look on paper like they could really do it. But the game's not played on paper. There's history that shows that these two teams, they have that chance. Not lately, I guess. The last two times they met, 2008 and 2010, they lost to the Flyers. But they've played 6 times in the playoffs, and they've each won 3 series. And there's an interesting stat that I think I'm going to get to next. I'll get to it next because we're talking about this. When the Habs and the Flyers play in the playoffs, 5 out of the 6 times, the winner went to the Stanley Cup Finals, and the only reason the 6th time it didn't happen is because they met in the Stanley Cup Finals. So, when Montreal and Flyers meet, it seems that the winner of that series goes to the Stanley Cup Finals. Does that mean that's going to happen here? No. I would have to think if Montreal wins, it doesn't mean that they'll make the finals. If Philadelphia wins, I think it's more likely that they will than Montreal. But it seems that's their history. Does it continue on here? We're going to find out. But I think if Philly does win, I think it's kind of likely that it does continue. If Montreal wins, it's going to be a harder road there. But I think that they could still do it. So it's an interesting stat considering that they're going to play this year. So good news. So before we get to my predictions, good news is that Jake Evans, who was hurt in, I want to say Game 3 of the Pittsburgh-Montreal qualifying round series, where he was checked into the boards by, I can't remember the Pittsburgh guy's name, Tanev, and banged his face pretty hard into the glass. I imagine it was concussion symptoms they were looking to see, keep him off the ice. He's only skating, doesn't mean he's going to be in the lineup because I believe Alex Belzil will be back in the lineup tonight instead of Jake Evans. But he's skating, and that's good news that he's skating because he's progressing, and it probably wasn't a concussion. Or a very minor one, I don't know. But they haven't released what it is, but he's skating. Okay, so now it's time for my predictions for these games. The series. So we've got 8 series starting up. There was 8 series before, but now the qualifying round is over, so the 8 teams out of the bubble. 8 series now, which will be brought down to 4. So we've got Chicago and Vegas Golden Knights. I don't know a ton about these guys. I do know. Now I've got this straight. I had it wrong in another video. Robin Lehner was traded from Chicago to Vegas. So Vegas has Lehner, and Fleury, Chicago basically has Crawford. Anybody else playing in Nets, Chicago's done. That's what I think. But it doesn't mean I don't think Chicago could win because Chicago, they beat whoever they beat. I forget who it was already. Edmonton. They beat Edmonton to advance here. If the old guys feel this is our last shot at it, we're going to do everything we can. They can do it, and they've got that core group that's won cups and can do it. And oddly enough, you're probably going to think I'm nuts, but I'm going to take Chicago in 7. So Chicago in 7. I'm going by gut feeling. I didn't take a ton of time doing these, and I did this. I honestly did this before the games yesterday, but I did find out about one game. It's the only one I know about. So next up is Calgary-Dallas. I want to see Canadian teams win, and I want to see Canadian teams advance. I'm not sure this happens, and I don't think it happens here. Don't ask me why. Again, this is one, especially a gut feeling. I'm going with Dallas in 4. I think it's the only one that I think is going to be in 4. It's the only one I got here in 4. Don't ask me why. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope Calgary advances. It would be nice. All right. My dog likes to interrupt sometimes. Or she feels just as strongly about this that it's going to be in 4. It'll be Dallas. Okay. Next up is Arizona and Colorado. It seems to be like there's a lot of underdogs, and the underdogs do have a chance here considering how everyone's healthy, all that stuff. Arizona, Colorado, you got to figure Colorado's the favorite. I kind of see it the same way. I'm going Colorado in 5. There, that's more clear than doing the arrows. Next up, Vancouver and St Louis, another Canadian team. I would love to see Vancouver advance here. I really would. They're up against the defending Stanley Cup champion St Louis Blues. I don't know how both of the teams have been playing, honestly. So it's a total guess, and I'm going with St. Louis because I can't see them losing here. St. Louis in 6. I just can't see it, but hey, like I said, odd things have been happening here because of everything, and it's not who you're going to expect always to win, and you got to kind of pick and choose who's going to be the ones that are going to be winning and not winning, and I'm just going to go with St. Louis in 6 there. Next up, New York Islanders, not Rangers. The Rangers already got their prize. New York Islanders and Washington Capitals. I had Washington going to the finals, and I might have even at one point picked them to win the Cup. I'm not sure if it was Washington or Colorado, but I had Washington going all the way. I see them winning here. I don't know if they go all the way yet. I'm not going to say that. But how did I pick it in 6? Washington in 6. Had the coaches. So Trotz has coached Washington to the last Washington's Cup. That was the coach. Now he's coaching the Island. It should be interesting, but I still think Washington in 6. Carolina and Boston. I had originally taken Boston in the round robin to go 0-3. They went 0-3. I had said I don't think at some point in the season Boston is really going to fall off. I think it's here because their attitude about when they came back is like, okay, we'll play a little bit. We'll be good when we need to be. But that doesn't always happen. As a matter of fact, a lot of times it goes the opposite, and I think it's going to go this way. And Carolina just seems like a team destined. Sebastian Aho looks fantastic. The reason why Bergevin tried to get him. So this team maybe seems destined. So I'm actually going to take Carolina, and I'm taking them in 6. And if it was in 5, and even if they swept them, I would not be surprised. And it's not because I don't like Boston. I don't like Boston, but it's not because of that. I just have that feeling. Next up is Columbus Blue Jackets and Tampa Bay. So this is the game that I saw a little bit, very little of it, but obviously I know what happened. 5 overtime periods for Tampa to win 3-2. Now, Columbus beat them last season in the playoffs, first round, 4-game sweep. Is that going to happen here? I don't think so, but I think this is going to be a lot closer than people thought because I think we all thought Tampa's going to just be this fantastic team and blah, 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 but they didn't. I don't think they were hoping to get Columbus again, and that's the case. And if you looked at the first game, it's obviously going to be some way. So this time I am still picking Tampa, but I think it's going to be a hard-fought 7. So Tampa in 7. But I swear, you can believe me or not, but I made these picks before that game. Look, the game ended when I did this during the day, so I didn't know anything about how that would end up. So I thought that was fair enough that I made the picks, even though it's coming out after it started. But I made the picks before there was any. I didn't watch anything at that point or know any scores. And I know it seems like thou does protest too much, but I just want to make sure that you guys realize that. What's the use of making picks that are it's like cheating. I don't want to do that. So now it leaves, the last one is the big one for us Habs fans, is Montreal and Philadelphia. Now I've come out already and say it, and I don't think I'm going to change. I really don't think I don't want to pick this one because it's too tough. So I'm saying this, and I've said it. If it's Philadelphia, it's going to be in 5. I think if Philadelphia plays the game they can play, they're big, strong, skilled team, great defense, great goaltending, all that. If that all works for them, the way everything was working pretty much except for the power play for Montreal, if that happens, they could sweep them, or I'm hoping Montreal will win 1. I'm saying it in 5. If Philadelphia is surprised by Montreal, if Montreal's tactics that they used against Pittsburgh, if they manage to hit and just out-hit a big team like that, and maybe not into submission, but just keep it even, I think it's Montreal in 7. So I don't think Montreal can win any quicker than 7. So those are my picks. There you go. That's my news of the day and my predictions for the round 1 of 2020 NHL playoff hockey. So if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. While you're on that way down there to do that, you can leave any comments about what you think. What do you think of my picks? What do you think about any of these stories here? I also want to say in the description, my new podcast just came out, second season, Habs Coast to Coast. We talk about this. Talk about that a bit with Scotty 2 Hockey. Anybody watching me knows Scotty 2 Hockey. You should know Scotty 2 Hockey. And we did a podcast. And check it out. The link is in the description. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Ring that notifications bell. That's going to get you more videos like this right here at Talking Habs. I got my live streams, my podcast. And speaking of live streams, tonight before the game, pregame show starts at 7:15. I'll go through the first period, and we'll have fun and enjoy the opening game of this Stanley Cup round 1. Okay, so there you go. Thanks for watching, everybody. Really do appreciate it. Please stay safe out there. Thanks once again, and peace out, y'all. I will see you next video and at the live stream. Bye-bye, everybody.